Alright, so it's pre-release season. I'm gonna try and do this in a quick take for you guys. I went to 2 pre-releases, and my first one, I went 2-1, and the second one, there were 22 people there, and I ended up winning. So I just wanted to give you guys some insight into Gravy Bones and what I thought was good, at least my take on gravy so far. So, Gravy Bones. Let's just take a look at the hero for a second. He's got a cool ability. Destroy a gold, draw a card, then discard a card. Yeah, obviously you're trying to get the watery grave cards into the graveyard to be able to play. I kind of saw it as your graveyard being a setup area similar to the arsenal. Except for these don't get clogged up like your arsenal does if you arsenal something. So that's kind of how I was thinking about it, at least. Extra place to set up additional intellect, for big turns. As well as the fact that, kind of like Dash.io, you have this Compass of Sunken Depths. I hear a lot of people complaining about this, saying he has no weapon. This is way better than a weapon. This is like why he's a necromancer. He's like magic, he raises people from the dead. Okay? So, like a wizard, doing wizard shenanigans. The compass is very much extra intellect because you're looking at the top of your deck. There are cards in this set that allow you to manipulate the top of your deck in such a way to set up very large, cool, explosive turns where you can gain lots of resources, which is one thing that I took advantage of. So, this says 4, but really you're like 5, maybe 6 int on this hero, the way I see it, because you have all of these cards you can play out of your graveyard, you have your arsenal zone, and you have the top of your deck. And not to mention, you have great cards that when you block, for example, I actually got 3 of these in my deck, but on the horizon, allow you to look at the top of your deck. So, in combination with the compass and the horizon, and the gravy ability of drawing and discarding, now you can take a look at the top of your deck. You know that you can look at the next card. If you have a gold, you can instant set up something with Watery Grave, grab that card that you've now looked at, and then also know that once you block out an attack, you can look at the next card. So now with this card, basically, and the compass, that's up to 2. How good is that? I mean, that's basically as good as the Eye of Ophidia with just these 2 common cards. You have up to 2, and you're blocking at the same time. I mean, it's kind of better. But we'll get into that. That's just a little bit of my take on why this hero is so good, and but very difficult to play because you have to know how to manipulate your deck. You have to build your deck in such a way where you know what your plan is on how you're manipulating it. You can't just throw a bunch of cards together. So, so let's go over what I put in my deck. I don't have this organized in any particular order. I probably should have, but let's go over the hero, or the allies that I drew into and had in my deck. So, out of my 8 packs, I opened 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 allies. And of those 7, 2 were Cutty Shark. This ally is very, very strong in the fact that you can give +1, and you can just attack for 3 too. But you can give +1 without tapping this hero. So if it's tapped already, you can still use this it doesn't matter whether he's tapped or not. You can always, once per turn, your next ally attack gets +1 and go again. This is very strong, especially because you don't have to worry about tapping him or whatnot. There's the blocking card that allows you to tap an ally to get +1 on the block. It's rare. I also have it in this deck, but we'll get there when we get there. It's kind of why Cuddy is very good. He's flexible, and he's got 4 health, so he's like a breakpoint. He's kind of hard to kill. You can't just send a 3 at him and kill him. And he only costs 1 to cast. Also, if you have 2 resources, you can send him for 4 if he's the only thing you got on the board established. Very good. Very strong ally. Probably if I were to rate these allies, this is my second strongest in the deck, I would say. The next strongest, I would say, is Shelly Hardened Traveler. This is probably the number 1 strongest in limited format. 5 health, attacks for 4, and you can tap her on your opponent's turn to basically get an extra point of blocking value, blocking out breakpoints, in combination with, on the horizon, the blocking card I was talking about. You're blocking 5. This is a 0 cost 5 block card when you have that out there. 5, guys. This blocks for 5. You play this, tap this, you just block for 5 with 1 card. That's absurd. Also, you get to look at the top of your deck with this. Like, it's just insane. The amount of value you're getting out of this is absolutely insane. This is why I rank her so highly, especially in limited. If you cast her early game and your opponent just ignores her, doesn't kill her because she's hard to kill because she's a 5 and maybe doesn't have a lot of big attacks or doesn't want to take her seriously as a threat on the board, by the end of the game, you're going to get a ton of value out of her. I played one game where my opponent ignored her and I cast her early in the game. I probably got 16 value out of her. I used her every single turn just to boost my defense, and it was absurd. It's like 16 extra health, that you're getting in a limited format. So very strong ally. Next ally we'll go over is, let's see. People say Kelpie's good. I don't like her, really. Only attacks for 1. Yes, you can give your target hero or ally go again. So you could, I guess, get extra action points off of using your hero's instant ability and it resolving with go again, which is cool. I never tried to do that. Even though she's a 0 cost cast, I rarely was casting her because your opponent's just gonna kill her on her turn. She only has 3 health. She's easy to kill. Can't really do much with her because she requires a lot of setup. So she's good, but hard to play in limited, where you really want to have a very particular setup to get her out and established and be able to survive until your next turn. Then you have Limpet Hop Along, very strong. It's Kadachi. She is the Kadachi ally. The fact that she has Gogan on her, it's just another way you can bust this hero. It's like having an extra card to attack with, basically, always, because he doesn't have a weapon. So this is basically like your sword or whatever. Like, Limpet is the sword. You can think of her as that way. And the cool thing about it is, too, your opponent has to kill her if he doesn't want to get attacked by her. She's only 1 health, but has to swing a hole entire attack, which is probably more than 1 at her. So, very good. Just an annoying hero, especially if you can get multiple heroes out. Like once you have a couple heroes out, like Cuddy or Shelly and her, it just becomes overwhelming. Rigor Mortis, also very, very strong. You get to attack a 1 for 6. That's amazing. If they don't kill this and let it survive until your next turn, the value just increases tenfold. Being able to attack once for 6 is absolutely insane. They have to waste an entire attack to kill it, unless they can come up with a way to deal damage with like one of the cards in limited that on hit deals 2 damage. So there's ways to kill him with just one attack if you have multiple allies out, but you have to be smart about it, I guess. And most of the time he's just annoying to try and kill, and annoying because he deals so much damage for so little cost. He's great if you have some go again and can just swing him at the end of your turn. Swabby, that's the other ally I had. Great end game. Your opponent has to respect this. Cast this end game. You have low health. You're gonna end up taking tempo after you played him, because they have to attack him on their turn and kill him instead of attacking you. You end up with a lot of tempo swing after playing him. So great late game, just grind out the game and set him up for a late game when you've got like Cuddy and Shelly, or Shelly on board, or another ally on board to help you just create a situation that is very hard for your opponent to deal with. Again, great value, 2 for 7. Just an awesome ally. So that's my ally pool. And that's what I think of them. Let's see here. We'll go over my blocks. I had 4 blocks in the deck. I was lucky enough to draw into 3 red on the horizons, which this card in limited is insane. Like I said, with Shelly you can boost it to 5 attack value, 1 card, and look at the top of your deck. It's just an insane amount of value you're getting out of this card. And also I had a hoist them up. It's also a 4 block, and you can tap an ally to give it +1, so you get the Shelly effect off of allies that aren't Shelly. I did not ever use this +1 off of the tap, just because I didn't need to. It's still just a great 4 block to cover up a pesky breakpoints. My final game that I played, actually, I drew 2 of these in hand, and was like not really too happy about it, but then my opponent swung at me for 8, and I just threw 2 cards down, said alright, cover it up, had a pesky on hit on the card to be able to untap Cogs. It was against a Puffin, and I just said okay, here you go. And at that point my opponent was very frustrated. Couldn't believe that I just had 2 card 4 block in hand. It was pretty funny. And I proceeded to opt twice off of them. I looked at the card twice, and then I also used my compass to look at it a 3rd time, just as funny shenanigans. It's just this deck is extremely fun to play and pilot. Getting into the red cards in my deck. Let's see here. I think I got them all sorted out. Yep, that is all. So, first one I have here is good old trade-in. It's a great generic for the deck. Does the same thing that Gravy's trying to do, only in reverse. You discard a card and then draw a card. That's fun to do. You're trying to discard your your watery grave card, so this enables that. And then you draw a card, which is great because it replaces itself. And then also it's really great target for the arsenal because it has natural go again. It's really great in the mirror because you can use it to kill an ally, and then set up an ally, and then play a blue with go again, break the chain, and play your ally and then attack. So it's a great setup card if you don't already have an ally established and you have an ally in hand and you arsenaled this on the previous turn. It's just a good setup. Otherwise, I found myself blocking with it and turning it into a 3-block with Shelly a couple times. It's a good utility card. We got Paddle Faster, 0 for 4. What's not to love about that? Tap an ally to give it go again. I didn't find myself giving this go again that often, just because I was able to just use it at the end of a chain instead of in the middle of one. I didn't need to because I had other ways of giving go again to other things. So, and I wanted to attack with allies, but it's a flex card. It's very flexible. You have the option to lead with it. It works good in the mirror to kill allies on 4 health. Again, very flexible card. Can do whatever you need it to do when you need it to do it. We got Burly Bones. Burly Bones, 2 cost, 6 attack, blocks 3. And the text is, when this attacks, you may discard a card or destroy the top card of your deck. If that card has Watery Grave, this gets overpower. So this is a game finisher. It's 2 for 6 that blocks 3. It's awesome. It's probably gonna make it into the CC deck too. It's just a great end game. You can pump it by stealing gold with one of the blues we'll get into here, and then it has overpower. It's just a good way to leak damage through too. If you just throw it, chances are they're either gonna have to give you equipment or they're gonna take some damage. So, well, that card is really great. Block with it if you don't need it. Another good flexible card. We've got, this is probably my favorite card in the set, the pirate card. Battalion Barak for 4 cost, attacks for 7, and it has the High Tide keyword text down there that says if there are 2 more blue cards in your pitch zone, this gets +2. So a lot of people don't realize how good this is in Gravy because they think you need to hold on to 2 blue cards to be able to play this, which you don't in Gravy because Gravy has access to other ways to turn this on, and I'll explain that in a minute here. But also another good card, you can block with it for 3. Insanely high damage output with the High Tide effect. You're coming in for 9. And giving this overpower also is something you can do if you fish finger it. It's you have extra resources, you can come in for 10, which I found myself doing a couple times. Just an awesome card, super big hitting card, and in limited it's a bomb. Like, that's half your health. Alright, let's see, is that all the reds I had in here? No, here's another one. Sorry, I knew I had another one of these. Played 2 of those. I think that's the right amount in this format to play. If you drew into more of them, I wouldn't play more than 2. But yeah, 2 of these seems good in the deck. They're your big bombs. If you can get them out early game and apply a lot of pressure, it's very good. Which happened to me in one of my games. I was playing against Amir, and I went second. Blocked out the first hand mostly, then I opted to see what was on top, and this was on top. Held on to a blue, and took a little bit of damage, knowing that I could maybe throw this back if I drew into another blue. I drew into another blue, and this HMS Kraken, which was this was awesome. I couldn't have had a better starting hand. I could have thrown this with overpower and for 7, but I had the guaranteed high tide on this, and I thought this will be a great follow-up for next turn, because I just wanted to wait and see what happened and see if I could buff this more, because there are some cards in the deck that do buff, so I was trying to see if I could get this to come in for more with the overpower effect. So I arsenaled this, and then my opponent threw the Conqueror of the High Seas at me and pumped it to 9 with the fish fingers on it, and because I had I just gave him 2 equipment and like 3 cards, or no, I gave him 2 cards and a couple pieces of equipment, and I was able to still throw this back with the high tide effect on his turn, blocking out all of the go again and then it had go again. I took some damage. He established an ally, but it was all good. Went face with this, and then he just no blocked it, but at that point he had taken so much damage. He was really on the back foot. I think I had him at 9. I was still at 20. So just a great start to be able to throw these big ships early game. Because it's definitely what you want to be doing. So yeah, all of these are great too, because they have the text, when this hits a hero, destroy an item they control. So it's good into the Mechanologist. It's just a good card, really, even without that text. Just having the overpower to leak damage, it's very good. So getting into yellows. The yellows I had in the deck. Another yellow I had in here was Saltwater Swell. I'd play any and all of these pretty much if I had any colors of these. This really the blue one is extra good because it turns on your hero ability, but these are awesome because basically this card value, if you can set up a blue on top of your deck, like this is an arsenal target for sure. You arsenal this, you look at the top, if you have gold, you can draw into another one, and like I found myself, let's say I had this in arsenal, I drew into a On the Horizon, I'm able to opt. I would play this, opt, make sure that there was a blue there. If there wasn't, activate the hero ability to try and set up to get down to a blue for my next turn, with some gold, hopefully, if I had it on board. Then basically you set yourself up to be able to play this. The card you pitch replaces itself +2 if it's a blue, so you end up on 5 resources, and you're able to do a lot with 5 resources, especially because if you're trying to play out some of your more expensive allies. You can play out an ally with go again if you've got a blue, like the blue one turns it on, but if you have a blue you can play in hand next. Then you can play an ally out, and then maybe steal some gold if they have gold, and you just used yours, on your turn. All of these things you have to take into account when you're playing this deck, which is why I love it. It's just, there's so much that goes into it. You really have to think about all of the things that are going on with the gold, with what's happening on top of your deck, what's going on in your graveyard. There's just so many things to keep tabs on, which make this deck so much fun to play. So, yeah, very, very good setup card. this is definitely a bread and butter card in the deck. It's very important. It has Go Again. You can use it to like Kankadachi and also attack allies. You got Jittery Bones. I love this card. Very good in blue. Also good in any other color, really. It's an enabler. It enables you to discard your Watery Grave card, and it has Go Again. So, again, a good starter, a good arsenal target. Only had 3 yellows in the deck, other than the 7 allies I had. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 blues. And I really wanted more, but I ended up cutting a few because I just felt like they weren't going to be impactful. When I went into playing this, I thought, man, 11 blues might not be enough, but it ended up working out really good because I knew I could cut some blues because I had 4 blocks, and I just figure, okay, hopefully I'll just be able to go late game, lock out, pitch deck, some cool pitch deck combos to the bottom, and then do some cool shenanigans, which I ended up doing a lot with these blues, and I'll explain here in a minute. I did find myself, again, you can pitch deck the Swell Water with another blue. You know, that's pretty easy to do. So I knew I did pitch deck the Swell Water a few times. I think I had one. Did I only have one of these? Yeah, I only had one Swell Water blue in here. So I knew once I saw it come up off the top of my deck that there was one turn when I really didn't have a turn. And I broke my gold to draw this, had one floating, played it, and knew that the next card coming was a blue because I pitch decked it, gained more resources, and I had set up the ally, Swabby, who's expensive, he's 3. And I had enough resources to both play him with Go Again and then swing him, and ended up being a pretty good turn. Just off of the, I think I had like 2 cards or 3 cards. I don't remember exactly, but you know, you don't even have to have that many cards. You end up with a bunch of resources, and that's my point. Is that you can make insane value plays with this deck. So especially with the saltwater swell, just an awesome way to gain a bunch of resources and kind of cheat the resources. You got Murderous Rabble. Again, awesome. Helps you opt. You always want to be opting on the top of your deck and using your hero ability to set up your pitch deck. Like I was saying, you can pitch deck all this stuff, and it comes by really quickly because you're constantly discarding and drawing. So it's kind of wizardy in the way that it plays. Like, I was reaching the bottom of my deck so fast and running out of cards so fast. Every game I played, pretty much I was down to 2 or 3 cards and thought I was gonna get fatigued, but I knew I had pitch decked, something with overpower, and it always ended up being just enough to seal the deal. So we have Murderous Rabble. Again, set up, basically you want to just have this late game to push some damage and force them to block, strip cards out of hand, or attack allies or whatever. I had one of those in the deck. Oh, we got another Jittery Bones blue here. It was, again, super good. Blues with Go Agains, that's what you want to be doing, and the fact that it also turns on your hero ability and allows you to discard. A lot of times I would just pitch deck this with an ally and know that once I draw that hand, I'm going to be able to play the ally, like the 0 cost ally for free, and then like swing it. I did that a few times. and it's just, again, insane value. Let's see what else we have here. Another blue attack I had in the deck was Crash Down the Gates. I don't think I ever actually played this as an attack just because I always had better attacks in hand, but my thought was just to put this in because I needed more blues, and in case I ran out of attacks, I had to have this as another target for attacks, because this deck does not really have a whole lot of attacks, as you can see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. These are just like setups, but like no, I don't have that many big attacks, you know. It's mostly just pokes and prods, things that are easy to cover up, and this is another way to just present another big hit, and also gain some info, you know. You can, when this attacks a hero, reveal the top card of their deck. If this has greater than the revealed card, it gets +2. When this hits a hero, destroy the top card of their deck. I think I did play this actually in the mirror, and my opponent, I pumped it a little bit, and my opponent ended up wanting to keep the card on the top of their deck, so they just ended up having to fully block it, which was fun. Let's see here. Pit for the Wreck. It's a 3 for 5, which is terrible actually value. It does have some cool on hits. It says when this hits a hero, may turn a card in their graveyard face down. If it's yellow, create a gold token. So I threw it in there just because I figured everyone's gonna be on gravy. It'll be good in the mirror. Creates gold, and can mess them up. It's just some tech for basically for the gravy mirror. I never ended up actually targeting the heroes with this card. I always ended up just using it in the mirror to take down, like I used it to take down a Shelly one game. I pitched like an ally and used my equipment to gain a resource, and then I had a card that I wanted as an arsenal, so I just did that to take down the Shelly because it's 5 attack. So it was worth it to put it in the deck for that reason. Definitely saved my butt kind of in a couple matches. Just being able to have a high enough attack to kill Shelly. Here's the rest of my blues are non-attacks. Let's see here. I've got Mutiny on the Battalion Bark. For each hero that controls more gold than you steal. Love this. These cards are awesome. I use these so much. I'd always put them in the arsenal, or you just enable the hero to turn on, and then you get buffed. Like this one buffs for 2 if you steal a gold. So a lot of times you're kind of like, you know, oh cool, I have this in hand. I don't have to block that much because I want them to have gold so that I can steal it. And so you can decide, okay, if I block X amount, they will probably generate X amount of gold, and then they will have more than me. So a lot of times I was just calculating my block based upon making sure that they would have more gold than me and not allowing them to have much more, but just enough so I could steal one. And so these were really good in that sense, of them thinking they had gold for their turn, their next turn, and then taking it. It felt really good, and then also gaining effects off of that, like the +2. That's very good. Especially if you have like a card with overpower. Like I was trying to pitch deck this with the other card called Mutiny on the Nimbus Sovereign. It does the same thing. You're trying to steal a gold, and if you steal a gold, it will make your next attack gain overpower. So I would pitch deck these 2 cards together, and like a ship or something, a big attack for late game. And even with your ally out, like you get your Swabby out, or a Rigor Mortis, something that swings pretty good. you know, you can swing for 6 with rigor mortis, plus 2, 7, 8 with overpower. Play these two, and then basically just play him from the graveyard for free, or not for free, with go again, and then swing. You know, off of 1. If you have your equipment, you can swing him for 1 for 8 with overpower off of 2 cards. That's insane. So again, these cards are like definitely very important in the deck. I was lucky enough to pull 2 of these Mutiny on the Nimbus Sovereign, and these were very important in the deck. They allow you to leak damage, they force your opponent to block equipment. You know, they just are good. Overpower is good. So those are good. The Mutiny is good. I've got Mutiny on Swiftwater in here. I had 2 of those. Giving go again to attacks is awesome. It's all attacks, so it can give go again to an ally. It can give go again to another attack. I think I used this with the 0 for 4 a few times in here. The Paddle Faster and this and Paddle Faster are very good, because then you don't have to tap your hero, and you can attack with them, especially if you have like a 0 cost attack or 1 cost attack, and you know you're trying to have like a good cost curve for the turn. Also very good. This blue, it blocked for 3, and that's all I ever used it for, and pitching. I don't think it's really that good otherwise, unless you get it like turn 1 or turn 0 and you're going first or something. This would be good. It's an aura, and I never really understood how it worked. It was very confusing. I had to call a judge over and talk to him, and I still didn't really understand how the card worked. And I think I get it now. You play this out, and then on your next turn, you pitch the top card of your deck, and if it's blue, you put it on the bottom of your deck. Otherwise, you destroy this. So with getting fatigued, which is pretty... it could happen. It's this deck, really, you have to be having overpower to be able to get your damage through, because if someone just blocks it all out and just keeps attacking with a weapon, you are gonna die. So this is helpful in the sense that you can pitch a blue and put it on the bottom of your deck. I'm not really sure about the it might actually not even be that great though, because you know, like if you're trying to send a ship and you put it on the bottom of your deck, that's not great because it's not in your pitch zone anymore. So not a super big fan of this card. Didn't do much more with it than block and pitch. Other than that, it's good because it's a blue 3 block, so that's why I put it in there. I never played it out as an aura, so and I probably wouldn't recommend doing that because it's just not that great. So yeah, that's the blues I had in the deck. These are important. Definitely, at least the ones that turn on your hero ability and you don't have to swing an attack with, are very good because you can block and you can still set up board state and arsenal a card, you know, try and set up for further turns. And then my equipment suite was literally just the stuff that came in the cold foil package. You got Buccaneer's Bounty, Fish Fingers, Blue Sea Tricorn, and Peg Leg. They all block for 1. Peg Leg is good. You need to give go again if you pitch a blue, and also you want to have an outlet for a blue to pitch to turn your ships on or something. You can do this, and then also pay for your ship, and then your ship has go again. So I did that a couple times. That felt good. Also just 1 health. Blue Sea Tricorn. I found myself Not really using this to block with that much. I did block with it a few times, but drawing a card off of 3 pitch is pretty good, especially when you end up with more resources than you need off of like a saltwater swell. This is really good because you can saltwater swell, gain 3 more resources, draw an extra card off the tricorn, still have 2 floating if you like paid a blue for your saltwater swell, and now have an extra card in hand. So like if you had to block a lot and you had set up a saltwater swell, you know, you could still establish like a rigor mortis and swing off of, you know, a 2-card hand, basically, and also be able to send an attack with saltwater swell. So again, you can get good value with that. You can make some cool plays. Also just blocks 1, which is awesome for covering up annoying on hits. Fish fingers is great. +1. This actually, my opponent was very upset that I fish fingered my overpower attack, because it made it so that he could not block it, even with his equipment or whatever he was trying to do. And the on hit was very devastating for them. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it ended up being very nice. And Buccaneer's Bounty. It's a free resource. It's awesome for when you just need an extra resource to like swing an ally or something, or you just need an extra resource to swing an attack. It's just nice always having that, and or you can block with it if you're really in a pinch. So these are great. Well, probably wouldn't run anything other than these if you have them. I did play the hands for the Necromancer Pirate. I forget what they're called. Oh, I'm looking over here. Washed Up Wave. That's very good. It can save you from having like a crappy hand with too many allies, not being able to block much. If you draw too many allies, it gives you an outlet and you have no gold. It gives you an outlet for discarding them. So it's definitely good too if you ended up drawing into it. If I had it, I would have played it. But yeah, this deck has no M's. We've got a few good rares in here. These blue rare, Murderous Rabble and Saltwater Swell. Those are probably the best attacks I have to turn on abilities, and also gives you some ops. But yeah, other than that, there's not really too much to this deck. You don't need like the Conqueror of the High Seas. You don't need like good Majestics to play in Limited, in Gravy Bones, and win. Just need some decent allies and some decent blocks and overpower, and try and just set up. You know, it takes a lot of setup, and having access to all of the, looking at the top of your deck with On the Horizon and Compass of the Suspended Death, as well as like using Gravy Bones ability when you have gold. It just feels like a 5.5 int deck. Like, you are able to do so much with that. And honestly, I want to try and build a CC deck now, because now that I've played the hero and did so well with it, I feel like it's time to try and build a CC deck. I have the Armory deck sitting here next to me that I picked up, and I have a couple of the cards I think you would play in CC, but I mean, it's going to be a journey. I don't think anyone really has them figured out yet. But as far as this 30 card deck, which is considered half of a CC deck, goes, I'm going to try and maybe put something together similar to what I have here, and see how it goes. the other thing I was looking at is like the wizard matchup's probably not great for him because it's hard to play arcane. I mean, I guess you have a lot of blues and you could play like arcane berry, but then you lose all of your equipment. I just don't know. So if you guys want to try and build, and I don't know, I'm gonna be working on it, so there's more to come. That's what I'm trying to say, I guess. There's more to come. So that's the deck that I played, and that's kind of some of the insights on it that I have to give. So much setup goes into this deck. That's the main takeaway I got. Like, you want to always try and have an arsenal, and your arsenal targets need to be things that you can try and set up and get more value out of with buffs and overpower, as well as establishing allies, squeezing them in in turns where you have, like, you know, a perfect cost curve where you can squeeze them in and maybe swing them as an extra attack if you don't have that many cards still in hand from blocking. It works out very nice. Recognizing these things, like having them in graveyard and having the ability to have a 1 cost or a 2 cost or a 0 cost is important, because a lot of times I was looking at it and thinking, okay, how much more do I have left? Oh, cool, I can set this up and either swing with it because I have 2 left, or, you know, oh, I can do that. I'll have 3 to set up off of the saltwater swell. I'll have like 5 resources, so I can play out Swabby and attack with him. You know, knowing these things too while it's your opponent's turn is awesome, because you're able to opt and know like what kind of things you can do, especially with if you are controlling gold as gravy bones. You can definitely modify your hand quite a bit and pitch deck and set up combos very quickly because you're just cycling cards so efficiently. So that's pretty much it. That's my takeaways, and Gravy Bones is awesome. Coming from an Acilio player, it feels like a more consistent, awesome way to cycle a deck and pitch deck combos. It's just sweet. Gravy Bones is cool, and I look forward to trying to build him, and I wish all you guys luck in your pre-releases if you're going to any of them, if there's any more. Yeah, see you guys on the gravy train. Peace.